up while you're dreaming. Nobody sees you. Nobody will believe you. And every day you try to pick up all the pieces, all the memories they somehow never leave you. While you dream. Nobody sees you. Nobody sees you. Nobody will believe you. And every day.
Unmuted, hang on, there we go, unmuted. Hey, good morning, everybody. Welcome to March 13th. We're just a few days away from one of the major holidays of the year. For those of you that, there's two kinds of people in this world. There's those that are Irish and those that wish they were Irish. So St. Patrick's Day is soon upon us. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to March 13th, episode 475. We're close to 1,500 episodes. So today's conversation is about journey consciousness. Too many people set their goals up, set their desires up, set their wants and wishes up. Too many people set up their goals and wants and wishes as destination. If I could only make, right? They set themselves up as a destination consciousness. They set themselves up to say, well, I want to sponsor 5 people. Okay, great. What's the journey? Few people set themselves up for the journey consciousness. And that makes it a challenge. See, if you're setting up as a destination, most people struggle. They won't make it through the journey. Right? In the Bible, it says, not that I'm a philosopher, a theologian. It says, on the way to. If you set your goals up to be on the way to and not the destination. See, when I mentor people, when I have the conversations with them, what we're going through in dangerous consciousness is I'm helping you understand the process of the present, as opposed to the process of the performance of a future you. See, you can't have anything in the future until you have it when, till you have it now, because when you have it in the future, it will be when? Now. If you dive into the Akashic records. Now, some of you may be wondering, what are Akashic records? Just Google it. I won't be able to do it justice in a 10-minute description. It says in there that everything is in a vibration. Imagine this. If you've ever looked at a Robb Reports magazine with all of the fancy boats and the cars and the elegance and the watches, or if you've ever looked at a Sears catalog, for you, those of you that are a little bit older, drop an SC if you've ever looked at a Sears catalog. Right? You can tell, I know how old you might be if you've looked at a Sears catalog. If you've looked at anything with images, how many of you have made a dream board? Listen carefully. The reason that you cut out a particular picture, some of you might not be doing yourself justice because you cut out a picture that looked close to what you wanted. So, isn't any picture that you look at, doesn't it have a certain frequency, a certain color? Didn't the printer use a certain color, right? Color, visual frequency, light frequency. Doesn't orange vibrate at a different vibration than red? All of this to say that everything is energy. And when you set a goal that forces your brain and body to go into conflict. Listen, I'm not saying to not set goals. Don't take this out of context, although some people will. It's just our nature. When you set a goal, you put your body into a dilemma. When you give yourself I am statements that are simply logical and not emotional, If you're not addressing the emotional side of your goal setting, if you're not addressing the journey of joy, of possibility, of getting on the path of this new journey and this new destiny, you're going to be in a struggle. It's just 98% of the population struggle with not arriving at their goals. It's not that they don't want them. I didn't say 98% of the people can't set goals. What I am saying is that about 98% of the people struggle with the journey of arriving at their goals. This conversation powered by Keto Cream, MCT oil for your brain. So if you're on your path and you set a goal, I want to create $10,000. If you haven't made $10,000 before, it's an unknown. And so what happens is it truly an unknown, right? If it's an unknown, then it's an unfelt. Listen, I could tell you this, if you've ever given somebody you love a kiss before, you will do crazy stuff to have another kiss from that person. You'll bring them chocolates, you'll stay up late at night, you'll hang outside their work, you'll wash their car, you'll do a variety of things, just so that you could be in that environment again, that emotional state again. You will do things, you will pay the price. Drop a dollar sign if you've ever paid the price, probably not the best example, but ever paid the price to get back into somebody's energetic field. Drop a dollar sign if you've ever paid the price to get back into somebody's energetic field. Drop an AN all night if you stayed up all night talking on a phone because you missed them, you were away from them. Do you see what we'll do to get back into an emotional state? Here's my point. Here's the challenge. The reason that most people won't do their dreams the same way, they won't work 24 hours a day, because they haven't fallen in love with their dreams. See, love isn't a destination, it's a journey. If you've been married or together for more than 20 minutes, you have to see something more than just the love. You have to be on this journey. Your anticipation is that there's something more. The love you have for your children is for something more. You pray that they are healthy and strong. They're going to grow up. They're going to grow up, and you're going to make good, strong children, beautiful children, amazing soul and spirit children, good-hearted kids, because you want more. Then you go make your dream, and there's no more because there's no journey. There's no more because there's no fun in it. There's no more because you haven't lived in your dream. Some of you are afraid to get on the path and get on the way to your dream. So how do we change that? How do we change our consciousness to journey consciousness? Get excited. Tony Robbins talks about, well, let me give you the 4 boxes, right? So if you were to draw a box on a sheet of paper, top left-hand corner, results. Top right-hand corner, actions. Bottom right-hand corner, results. Bottom left-hand corner, belief. See, when you are on the way to, when you decide to take the journey, when you decide to get going, when you decide that you are going to have more of what you want and less of what you don't, what are your results? When you fall in love with somebody, when your child comes into this world and maybe you're this new mom, what's the possibilities with this new child? What's the possibilities with you as a new mom? It's everything, isn't it? It's unknown. So let me ask you this, the goal that you currently have, the sticky note that you have stuck somewhere, this thing that you have sitting on a note in a journal on your phone, what's the potential of this thing? What is the potential of this goal? Can the goal be bigger than you imagined? Can you even upgrade the goal right now as you sit there? What would the journey be of the possibility, the potential of this? Here's the challenge. You know what literally takes this out right away? You know what literally takes the legs out from your goals, from your dreams, from your wants, from your wishes? Is you stop the journey. Listen carefully. You stop the journey by limiting your actions. And the journey never gets started because you have this old story. You have this old belief. You have this old story that says you're not good enough. It's called self-talk. It's called at a subconscious level. So you never take the journey. I need you to get, and I don't mean serious. I want you to get truthful with yourself. I want you to think of a goal that you currently have that's off, it seems out of reach. It seems out of grasp. It seems just beyond over the hill. It seems just, you can smell it, you can hear it, but you just can't get to it. If you believe that this goal that you've set, this goal that you've wanted, this goal that you've told people, if you truly believe and honestly believe that when that goal shows up in your life, you'll be ready for it, drop an R in the chat. If you will be a good steward of that goal, if you will be a good steward of that money, if you will be a good steward of the people who come into your life, drop an S in the chat. So if you're going to be a good goal setter, you're going to receive it with love, honor, and respect, and you're going to be a good steward of the money that comes in, a good steward of the people who say yes to you, a good steward of the environment that you create with this, then I got to really ask you a tough question. What the hell is keeping you from being all of those good things? It's your conscious awareness. It's your subconscious dialogue that changes your conscious awareness. If you have made a promise to take care of all of those things when they arrive, then the only thing that's keeping you from it is the vibrational state of the now. And this is your consciousness. This is why I've created the course in the community, Dangerous Consciousness. It's got to be frustrating. It's got to be a little bit challenging. It's got to be a little bit aggravating that day after day, week after week, you just seem a little closer, just a little closer, when you know damn well that you are capable of taking care of the dream. You are capable of taking care of yourself. You are capable of doing the right stuff when you've been put in the situation. You've been put in the situation before by the universe and you were tested, but you didn't take the journey. You took the vacation. Ooh, this is good stuff. Some of you went on vacation to your dreams and you got excited. And you got excited and you got off the boat, the plane, the train, the bus, and you got your passport stamped and you said, I've arrived. And you arrived at your destination. You arrived in your journey. You arrived in this place. And all of a sudden, you could only stay there for a little while. How come you can't stay on vacation from now until forever? Because vacation doesn't pay, right? Right? Why can't you stay on vacation forever? Now, some of you will argue with me with your words, and I get it. Come on, let's be adults about this. You're in your comfort zone. You're afraid to take the journey. You're in your comfort zone. And you go on vacation. How many of you have paid to go on vacation? Why do you pay to go on vacation? Because you need a break, you need a change, you need a shift. But there's people who live there and work on vacation. Every place I've gone on vacation, every place I've traveled in the world, that's a vacation destination. I went to work because somebody was having a seminar or a meeting, and I went to go speak. One of the most beautiful lakes in all of Italy, one of the oldest buildings. I almost destroyed one of the oldest buildings on, I want to say, Largo Guardia. Largo Guardia. Oh my gosh. Buonasera, Largo Guardia. Most beautiful lake in the center of Italy somewhere. I went to go do an event. It's a vacation spot. I went to work. And I had people jumping up and down inside of this, and the one of my dear friends comes screaming down the aisle, and I said, this isn't good. She said, stop them from getting so excited. I was having them doing some motivational movements to incorporate in the body. And they said, little pieces of the ceiling are flaking off into the kitchen. Please stop the jumping. So that's a whole nother story. But people were working there. They weren't on vacation. Do you know how many people would love to come to your position, your place in life? You've got 4 amazing kids and they're beautiful and they love them. You got 6 amazing kids and they're beautiful and they love them. You have 1 incredible child, you're beautiful and you love them. And they're just, and people give you credit and compliments about these kids all the time. They're the most amazing kids on the planet. And these kids who are the most amazing kids on the planet, they say, I wish my kids were like that. Do you realize that your kids are a vacation for somebody else? Type of no way if you're saying, oh, that's just when they see them on their good behavior. Your kids would be a vacation for somebody else's family. See, when you decide that you are going to take the journey, life gets incredible. Come here. When you decide to take the journey, life changes instantly. Because this journey is out of this pain zone that you've called your comfort zone for way too freaking long. And when you decide to take the journey, the first time you take a step on that journey, the first time you get on the train, the first time you make that first step, everybody's going to be against you. First, they won't say anything. Then once you start, listen carefully, drop a 1, listen carefully to what I'm saying, and then drop an H in the chat if this makes sense. Listen, don't do it yet. Don't do it yet. Not just yet. You decide to take the journey. And metaphorically speaking, you get far enough outside of your comfort zone, far enough outside of what you are known for, far enough outside to the metaphorical place to where the people who are stayed in that zone, stayed in that bucket, think you can't hear them anymore. And they get loud and they scream at you metaphorically to come back. Now, the screaming takes on different versions. It takes on old story abuse. The screaming takes on different versions because they don't want you going on a journey. And they make the hole that you left more painful for them. And the only way the pain is solved is if you come back and fill that space. These are grown people who are whining like you took away their binky. Drop a B in the chat if they're whining like you took away their binky. And because they don't have enough journey of their own, they're not on a journey. You left on a journey and they're like, where are you going? You know, it's stupid to go do that. You know, it's crazy to go do that. You're in one of those things. That's when somebody's afraid of your journey. Here's the reality. They're really trying to protect you. If you ask them, next time somebody wants to pull you back off your journey, tell you get off your train, tell you don't buy a ticket, the next time that they ask you that, say, what do you do? Listen, I love that you're making this so you're making me aware of this. What are you wanting to protect me from? And they'll say, I don't know, but people get hurt when they do that stuff. Here's the law of opposites, ladies and gentlemen. If you ever listen to a great audio called Outwitting the Devil by Napoleon Hill, every atom is made up of what? What kind of charges make up an atom? What kind of charges make up an atom? Positive, and half of every atom is negative. So would it be fair to say that birds of a feather flock together? If you hang around a bunch of negative people, what do you think your chances are? You're going to be a little negative. And when you're positive, you're like you walk around with spikes on you, popping everybody's bubble of what reality is. See, nobody wants to be shown the potential. Listen carefully. Not your potential. They don't want to be shown any potential, because if they're shown potential, then they have to live in misery. Right now, I live in a comfort zone. I've masked my life that's in misery. I don't have enough money. I don't have enough love. I don't have enough sex. I don't have enough joy. I don't have enough skinny. I don't have enough short hair, long hair. I don't have enough good skin. I got too many wrinkles. I got all of this stuff. And you call that your comfort zone? The cosmetic industry is billions of dollars to make your face look good. You call that your comfort zone? The weight loss industry is $57-60 billion a year, trillion dollars. It's a crazy number. Figure it out. And that's your comfort zone. You want to lose 20 pounds. That's your comfort zone. You want to sit with weight and anxiety and you can't sleep at night. This is your comfort zone. Do you see how you've masked? You've not taken the journey. You've locked yourself in place. You are in the comfort zone consciousness. So now all of a sudden, somebody like me comes along and they say, I'm for that. There's a group of people that are doing this. I'm going to go get the book. I'm going to join the book club. I'm going to be involved with it. I'm going to go be part of Dangerous Consciousness. Absolutely. I'm all in. This is great. And the first time you leave the train station on your journey, somebody's going to say, are you on another call? Oh, what's this? You joined a new community. What's this one going to do? How many of you have heard these phrases? Just drop a 1 in the chat if you've heard any of these phrases. Oh, you bought another thing. You're doing a new call. How many calls? What's this going to do for you? Oh, this one's going to change everything. Do you realize you hear all of this stuff? And it's because you've decided to take a journey. So how do we fix this? You bring them back the last sample. You bring them back the last morsel from every bit of information that you get. You tell them how absolutely wonderful they are for helping you, encouraging you to go on this journey. You bring them back the last morsel of the thing that they're looking for. See, the challenge is when we go off on our journey, we are so, what's the word I'm looking for? We're so steeled that we have to win. We are so absolutely laser focused that we have to win that we bring nothing back for anybody else. And we make it really obvious that all of a sudden we got into our size 2 dress and we got Botox for our eyes and somebody gave us some injections in our butt, and boy, do we look hot. And you do look hot. And you do look sexy because you've enhanced your brain. You do look sexy because you're invigorated because of the joy that you have. And all of a sudden you got around people who love you and people who think you're amazing. And not that your family doesn't think you're amazing. They just don't see you in that light. Emerson said, there's something you do so well, people wish they could do it half as well. And when you get around cool people, they see some of the stuff that you do for the very first time and they think, oh my God, you're amazing. You're a goddess. You're 5'2" and you're 7 foot tall. You're 7 foot tall and you're just whatever. You're this amazing mom of kids. And how do you raise 2 kids? How do you raise 3 kids? How do you raise 5 kids? How do you do it? Oh my gosh, you're my goddess. I worship you. And we feel good and we go to these places and we put a sentence together that's an adult sentence and people hear the wisdom because you've been sharpening your saw for 20 years and you get out into the public where people listen to you and they say, oh my gosh, where did you learn all this stuff? You're like this fountain of information that I just got to be around you. And you start to feel good. And there's a part of you that says, oh my gosh, people think I'm wonderful. and you fret getting on the plane to go back home. You fret getting on the train to go back home because you are already building the wall for all of the joy that you have to try to insulate it and isolate it. See, if you were on the journey and you talked about the journey and you invited other people on the journey, see, it's the invite that gets lost. It's not the journey. Some people never want to go on the journey. How many of you have ever gotten an invitation to somebody's party and didn't go? Maybe you sent something, but you couldn't go. You just couldn't go. The challenge is that how many of you got really ticked off when you found out there was a party and you never got the invite? Drop a P in the chat if you got ticked off. You found out there was a party. No, that's okay. You didn't get the invite. How many of you have not invited people? The challenge is that it's hard to invite people if you don't have your definite major purpose, because the people that you're going to invite will play a part in your role, will play a part in your journey. They just can't go with you. The hero's journey never lets anybody go with you. But they can't leave you. And the challenge then exists. Somebody typed in the chat, Daniela typed in the chat, we don't even allow them to become the witness. We try to do it in secret. We try to do it hidden. And because I don't want them to feel bad. Drop an FB if you've ever had your success, you've ever limited your success because you didn't want the people around you to feel bad. Listen carefully. Be responsible to them, not for them. Be responsible to them, not for them. I'm sure Walmart has a lot of shirts that would fit me. I'm probably not going to buy them. I buy some of the goofy, funny ones, like the stick figure that's holding the brain that says, hey, you dropped this. I love that one. It's a stick figure and he's holding the brain, right? Hey, you dropped this. It's the greatest one ever. It's the greatest shirt for me as a brain trainer and talking to so many people who have dropped their brain. But do you think Walmart cries every day because I haven't bought all the shirts that fit me? No, they give me a chance. They put them out on a rack. They let me look at them all. They let me touch them, feel them. None for me today. Melba's not at the door crying, going, why didn't Sean buy any shirts? Because I'm on a journey. Some of you haven't invited people on your journey. Some of you haven't invited people to become witnesses. You think they should be a witness and they should witness your greatness and your journey and your glory and the sacrifices you're doing. Do you realize they can't see it because they can't see it? How many of you watched the movie The Secret? Do you remember the part where I think it was The Secret. No, it wasn't The Secret. It was What the Bleep. Pretty sure it was What the Bleep. I don't know. I forget which one. They're both great movies. So, but where the shaman is standing at the water's edge, and when the ship showed up, nobody could see the ships. They didn't have any reference point. It's called a scotoma. It's called intentional blindness. You can't see what you have no reference of. How many of you are struggling because you can't see the goal you have because you have no reference of it? Listen, you tell me your goal. Awesome. Great. Your goal is amazing. Your goal is incredible. I love it. Every one of your goals. Simply brilliant. You deserve it. Let's go get it. Here's the challenge why the DIY method of going to goal getting can't happen. It's so difficult. The reason that 2%, 3% win is because it wasn't the sticky note they put. Wallace D. Waddle says even blockheads can get rich. How many people do you know save money, and they're always poor? How many people do you know spend money, and they always seem to have more money? This has nothing to do with the thing you're doing. It has everything to do with the way that you do the thing. So this idea that you're going on this journey, this idea that you're going on this goal, this scotoma that you have, this dream that you want something you've never had before. Follow me on this. Hopefully this gives you a little wake up why the DIY method of success is such a struggle and fails for 98% of the population. You want something you never had before. Perfectly entitled to it. Absolutely. Let me help you get it all. I hope you get more than you asked for. But you want something you've never had. What does that require? Let's just look at what it requires inside of the body. It requires you to, because if you do everything the way, right? Einstein said the mind of man that created the problem can't be the same mind that solves it. In other words, the thinking that got you here can't get you out of here. So you want a goal you've never had before, which means you got to think a way you've never thought before, which will produce a feeling that you've never felt before to help you do an action you've never done before to get a result. You don't know if it's the right result for the first one because it could send you down the path of hell and damnation, or it could send you the path to heaven and joy, whichever you choose. But you don't know until you can measure it. The first time you can't measure it. And most people's first reaction, first response, first result is a crappy one. My mentor said to me all the time, your first one's going to be your worst one. And when you get the first result, there's not enough oomph in your giddy up and go to stay long enough to get your second result. And therefore you go back to your comfort zone because that crap hurts. Having people tell you no hurts. Having people tell you you're not good hurts. Having people say, what are you, stupid? Hurts. When people tell you that's not who we are, hurts. You're not smart enough, hurts. You're not pretty enough, it hurts. You're going to sell a weight loss pill when you're 30, 50 pounds overweight, that hurts. And so we avoid the hurt because we've been taught things should be easy. Don't stress yourself out. Don't push yourself too much. You don't want to die young. How's your comfort zone? How's your journey? I can tell you how your journey is. Tell me the people you hang around. Tell me the last 3 books you read. Tell me what chapter 13 is. Tell me what chapter 4 is. Tell me the book. Tell me how much money you got in your bank. I'll tell you how your journey is. Tell me your biggest loss. I'll tell you how your journey is. You probably haven't experienced your biggest loss yet. Too many of you are worried about what somebody else is going to say. And I promise you, you're not even a thought when they're pouring their coffee. It's addiction to approval. And until you find somebody, there's enough of us out there. When you find somebody who understands the self-talk that you need specifically, who understands the conversations you need specifically, who understands the pain that needs to be loved, you need to be loved through, who understands how the brain works, who understands the neuroencoding every time you say something, every time you have a dream. How many times have you guys really dove into your goal, really started to outline, really started to do your 1,000-word story, your dream board, and your body started to lock up? Drop a B in the chat if your body ever started to feel pain, suffering, anxiety, anguish when you went after your dreams, just sitting on your couch. That's called neuroencoding. Go ask your upline for a script. See how that fixes that. Go ask your mentor for the training necessary to break that pattern. Not going to happen. Not going to happen. Not going to do it. 1,000 points of light. Not going to happen. So what do? Go find somebody who understands how to break your consciousness, who understands how to access your subconscious in a polite, loving, caring way. And when you do that, then you're no longer in the DIY method. The challenge, the reason that you struggle is because you're doing it yourself. If going to the gym was so easy, how many of you right now have a gym program? You don't have to say it, but you've got a membership that you're not going to. Drop an M in the chat if you got a membership you're paying for, not going to. How many of you have a membership to your goals and you're not going? At least the gym you drive by, you're not even driving by your goals to go do the workout. How many of you are doing workouts for your goals? 10 pages of a good book every day. Easy to do, easy not to do. 10 blessings of your gratitude every morning. Easy to do, easy not to do. Send out 10 messages of gratitude, of thanks to people that you love and care for. Easy to do, easy not to do. How often should you do it? Every day. How many of you want to take a cheat day? Oh my God. It's called the weekend. WEAKEND. I got a day off. How could you even be excited about a day off from your life? You know, there is no day off until they close the box on you. The end zone for all of us is death. So there is no weekend. It's just a week day, WEAK day, that you kind of link together. I need to recharge. What the hell are you doing that you need to recharge from? Why don't you find a way, do what Jim Rohn said, listen, I'm working part-time on my future and full-time on my income. Why don't you stop scrolling in TikTok, and why don't you start that side gig that you've been threatening to start? Why don't you do the effort and the work that you said you'd be willing to do? The reason that you're not going to be able to make your side gig work is because you can't deal with no, because nobody's teaching you how to go for yes. See, they're not teaching you journey consciousness. They're teaching you destination consciousness, and you can't cross over because the troll is at the bridge saying, you owe me money. You owe me time, and you ain't got the time and you ain't got the money. So you just stay on your side of the river. Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me I'm wrong. Listen, it's not about right and wrong. That's probably the truth. And the reason is because you've decided that's the truth. You've decided that's your comfort zone. And until such time you make the decision, not one more book, not one more training, not one more seminar, not one more conversation, not one more poem, not one more meme is going to make a damn bit of difference. Until. And once you say yes, then the game starts. When you say yes, the universe seems to remove the obstacles at light speed. The challenge is you haven't said yes, you've said maybe. Let's get serious for just a moment on your goals. Have you said maybe or have you said yes? Drop an M for maybe or a Y for yes. Because if you said maybe, you can stay yes. If you said yes and you're sucking, then you're lying to yourself. If the obstacles haven't been removed, you've said maybe. What's the famous saying? There's no traffic on the what? The extra mile. Some of you haven't made it to the extra mile yet. I'd encourage you, let's start that journey. Let's start that journey. Let's get there. Let's go have some fun. Go to dcwaiting.com and get on the list. Few days it'll open up again. If you want, you can join us. This is the kinds of conversations we have on a daily basis. To rattle around in that beautiful brain of yours and find that space and that peace and that joy that exists inside of you, to finally be on your journey. Because on the journey, everything's fun on the journey. It's the repeat that's a pain in the ass. It's the repeat, getting 2 steps forward, 3 steps back, and you're struggling and your journey and you're pushing and you're pushing and you keep getting back to even. I don't think that's fair. Life's not fair, but I don't think you are being taught how to take 3 steps forward and 4 steps back, and you're constantly struggling and you're in this constant exhaustion. I'm exhausted. I can't do it anymore. And then somehow you manage to pick yourself up, dust yourself off, and you go do it again and again and again. And you keep getting just enough to stay out of pain and stay out of trouble. And then you slip back down in there because they're not letting go of you. Your old stories, your old friends, your old this. You don't have to be mean to them. It's just there's a point where you make a decision and you draw the line. How many of you right now, if you've ever drawn the line in the sand, that proverbial line in the sand, where do you draw it? 99% of the population that haven't been to my trainings draw the line in front of them. I'm drawing the line in the sand. And so what you're saying is that dreams, if you cross that line, I'm going to kick your ass. What happens if you draw the line behind you? Erase that, scratch it with your foot, and now reach down and draw the line behind you. Do you feel the change in your spirit? See, I teach people how to draw the line, the decision behind them. That is no longer my world. And I help you answer your call from the ordinary into the extraordinary. I went way long this morning. I wasn't going to be able to keep my word to serve you if I ended it 15 minutes ago. So I hope you're okay with that. Instagram, you get to rewatch this. It'll be back up inside the TV side of it, the video side of it here shortly. I love you tons. I'm your head brain training, brain scrambling, journey taking misfit. I'll see y'all where? I'll see you at the next event. Thanks, everybody.